Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hello, friends.
Hi.
We're about to start a new podcast or a video show or something that will be, you can see it on YouTube at least at first. And we are in Mökki Galleria. This is the place. And it's owned by Sibel.
Hi.
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody.
Do you want to tell something about yourself?
About myself?
Yeah, who are you?
Well, I am a human living in this part of the world, and this cottage has been working and functioning as a art gallery for almost 5 years, and I have been running it as a gallerist, as a cleaner, as a art lover, as anybody, as a host. So I have lived in Finland for 22 years, and I don't know who I belong to, which culture, so I feel like multicultural person, and so I'm very much art person. I love art and anything about art, and it can also be in sound wise or visual wise or in any kind of senses. So that's
maybe
why
art is your culture.
Exactly. Why not? You know, we let's create our own culture. So that's what I think sometimes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I know that you two know each other from like longer than I know both of you. So I was just wondering, how did you start collaborating with Paul here, like Sibel and Paul?
It was by a mutual friend of ours. I got introduced to Sibel. Hi, I'm Paul. And I got introduced to Sibel, when was it? In 2017, I think it was.
Okay, yes.
So
Pretty long.
5 years ago. Yeah, imagine. Time flies. Now, and so, yeah, I got introduced, and you actually quite recently opened up this place as a gallery, right?
That's right.
And I was lucky enough to get to know you, and you invited me to have this exhibition here, which happened in September 2017. That was here for a month, my exhibition, Intuitive Interface. That was the one, with my abstract art. And then started our collaboration, because we have been involved with other projects.
Yeah, you've been making books too, right? Books.
Yeah,
That's right.
Together?
Yeah, true.
You as a graphic designer, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, and Sibel as the illustrator, and then there was this writer also.
Yeah.
Ian. So yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. Could you also tell a little bit more about your background? You're not Finnish either.
No. I'm Paul, and I've been living here in Finland for 15 and a half years now. 15, yeah. I have a musical background. Let's start. I've done my professional education in Amsterdam at Academy for Art Direction. But I was as a professional musician in a rock band for many years, which also led me to places like Finland.
Like touring.
Touring,
Ah.
yes, yeah.
Interesting.
And so that's my first introduction to Finland, and I've been married to a Finnish woman back in the days. So that was my connection to Finland, and I moved to Finland in 2006. But during the time I was playing in that band, I was also doing art, painting, and I've also a background of in the graphic design industry, and so I've been also an illustrator and those kind of things. So, but then when I moved to Finland, I was determined to become more of an independent artist, and I focused more on painting. I started like seriously painting in those days, and then I wanted to do like larger canvases and focus on abstract art. So
Yeah.
that's what I do.
Yeah.
And what about you, Jani?
I've not known you that long. I met Paul like last year sometime in August, like randomly, because I can't remember exactly why, but I was here talking to Sibel about something with exhibitions.
Yes.
And then and then I had this opportunity to have an exhibition in Turku that my friend Nana was trying to pull together. So I was asking Sibel to join, and then you were also there, and then we thought, hey, we were all doing kind of abstract painting stuff then, but you joined as with your like video work, but it was like painting in the video that you projected to the wall where we had our paintings. So we had a exhibition together just like 6 months ago, or is it not that long ago? Well, almost. Yeah, but before that I also had an exhibition here in Mökki Galleria in 2020, and I was also invited to join this Imaginary Birds exhibition by your friend Minna and our mutual friend Minna. And I was like, I was very burned out that year when it comes to art, so doing this painting for the Imaginary Birds exhibition was kind of my way to get back a little bit to making art, also like making art independently, because I've been working as an illustrator and graphic designer mostly, or illustrator actually mostly, for the past, when did I start? Like 5, 10, 15 years ago. It depends on how you define it. Like when you start getting commissions, then it would actually be since I was like 19, 20 years old, because I already did some illustration work in my teens. So that's a really long time ago. But in between there I was writing a thesis in art history, and teaching art history. So I was like in the academic field for about, I don't know, like a little bit under 10 years, something like that. And then I just shifted completely to like the practical stuff. Even though I really, of course, enjoy like watching and analyzing art still, but it's my work is now more centered in creating it myself in different ways, like both painting, illustration and graphic design.
Well, this is also why probably you are here now. So
yeah, we are all kind of doing everything.
Put things together, and it will be great to hear your opinions about all sorts of things.
Yeah, and we have actually, when we decided to start this podcast, I don't know what to call it, like video thing.
This is
video show
thing.
The video thing. I received this meme from a friend of mine.
Did we already decide on a name of these kind of broadcasts?
Yeah, we were thinking like Mökki Art Talks.
Mökki
so
Art
we're gonna
Talks.
be talking about
down to earth
art.
Finnish style.
Yeah, and also I mean like art really widely, not just paintings, and or like what we're interested in and what happens, what we've been working with, collaborations, because it's really, we would love to invite somebody here also to talk to us. This is the very first episode, so we're kind of just starting and
doing this on the fly.
Yeah, we just got the microphone working.
Yeah, and we are not going to all the time introduce ourselves.
Yeah,
so
no.
This is now the official.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to go back to this one to see who we are. But I was just gonna go into this nice text that we found in a meme. I had to Google also who had been writing it. I'll say the name after the meme, but it's this really nice kind of empowering text about artists. So I'll quote this now. Artists are not like athletes. We cannot win gold. We cannot beat other creatives. We cannot come first. Sport is objective. Our craft is subjective. Creating to be the best, in quotes, is a waste of energy. Instead, create to connect to the people who need you, because they're out there. Create in your way, because there is no right way. Take the pressure off and focus on your unique brand of magic. So we just happened to see this when we were talking about starting this podcast, and I'm just going to say that this quote was by an author called Amy McNee. We didn't have the name when we saw this meme, and I guess it's quite typical that a meme will sort of spread out and you don't know who wrote it. So I googled it so that we are sure who is the creator, because that's also kind of important that, you know, you give credit to people who have like interesting thoughts. But I was going to ask how you were thinking, because this sort of resonated with me, that I've been, when I was younger, I was thinking, oh, I have to be the best to make it. How do you make it in art? Yeah. And then you think you really have to, you know, you have to do what everyone, what other people like, you know, and it's hard to find this path of your own. What do you think?
Well, it's in a way I recognize this also. It also resonates with somehow this feeling of judgment. You know, it's also quite general, not only as an artist, but you know, also personally. You know, sometimes it's really amazing how easy you judge yourself, for instance.
Yeah, like the self-criticism.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I believe it's a global thing. People nowadays are suffering just because of the judgment. The inner judge is shouting out loud.
Yeah.
And as when you're a creator, it's not very helpful to be judging yourself all the time, you know, because art should be the place where there's freedom.
Yes.
I think art is the right place for, you know, to find freedom, and to create like good art means that you're able to be carefree, you know, just doing it, and doing is without judgment, and that's so, you know, judgment and art doesn't go together.
Yeah.
You know? And then you have these things like these the art shows, which is necessary and totally totally necessary. People come and they have a sort of opinion, which is perfectly okay, but you know, people are afraid to show themselves almost, because they are afraid to be judged. Yeah. Which is another thing. I mean, to have a certain opinion doesn't mean that they would criticize somebody. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I feel, and I recognize this also when I post something online, for instance on Facebook or whatever form of social media. There is this sort of apprehension, or sort of a feeling of insecurity. Let's call it insecurity. That, you know, is this worth posting? You know, what will people think when they see me with my post, you know, of whatever it is that I'm doing?
Yeah, but then you can be surprised sometimes somebody saw it, and you don't often get maybe feedback actually, but sometimes you will hear that someone was very touched or moved by something you did, and you didn't expect it to.
Also, that's true.
Yeah, and I understand. I mean, I'm also struggling sometimes with this fear of like showing, like, are you showing too much of yourself, or, you know, like you feel embarrassed about being like visible in that way. So, and also of course, if it's like if you get bad criticism, that's not nice.
It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen often.
No, it actually doesn't happen very much. I guess if it's if you get like a review of some kind, it can be critical sometimes. But well, have you ever gotten a bad review?
Let's think. Well, the biggest, toughest audience is my sons, basically. They are very straightforward, but
The truth comes from the children.
Yes. But also sometimes I'm impressed with them because they immediately say that, oh my God, this is cool, or they are like, you can do better, Mom.
Oh, right.
But the thing is, while you guys were discussing about these things and to make something amazing, to create something amazing, I was invited some time ago in South Korea to Judgement University in Daejeon to give a speech about art and design of Finland and my own experience to graphic design and fashion design department. And to be honest, it was huge amount of people. Again,
wow.
It was like an auditorium, and I wasn't very, in Finland I don't get this kind of invitations ever.
Yeah, there's not enough people here.
No, and they don't recognize me as a person to invite, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I was of course very happy about it, and of course I did my best to present something, and there were questions. There was a question moment, and the moment of the question from this huge amount of people, and the question was, how do we create something which is not already been created? How can you do things without copying?
Mm-hmm.
This was the question.
Well, I would have an answer, but that's not
Answer!
Really? Now continue.
No, I want to hear your answer.
What would you answer?
Well, I mean, it's also being in the zone, to just be yourself and express what comes.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
But we understand this, but this was the most puzzling thing for them.
Yeah.
Because Asian culture, and I don't want to put everybody, but in Korea, after living there 3 years, I have experienced that they were, of course not everybody, but in the principle in general is take something and improve it. Take something which is good and make it better.
I'm thinking also maybe in the Asian, like Chinese and Japanese art, there is a tradition that you like really strictly learn from like masters.
Yes.
And you learn by copying from the masters.
Exactly.
And then sometime when you are like 80, 90 years old, maybe you will have like created something unique, like original.
So this is why.
So their perspective is a little bit different, I think.
Very different, and of course I also had a very simple answer that be yourself and also be inspired. And how do you get inspired? That was another question. And also everyone has their own methods, and everybody is different. Every individual is different. Some people, they need a lot of people to be inspired. Some people need to be alone. Some people need to travel. Some people need to read a lot. It's really everyone has their own way, and we need to find that out. What is our way to find the inspiration? Where how? And we need to work on it. You cannot go into your comfort zone and sit there and I like to travel and then I find my inspiration. You need to keep on doing different things and push yourself to edges.
I would like to add actually when you said like comfort and discomfort, because I think one of the things is to learn also to sort of accept that your mistakes are like part of you, because I think I was quite perfectionist when I was younger, that things have to be perfect and they have to be exactly like I'm imagining things, or it has to be like the perfect drawing, and then it would never become perfect, and I would like feel ashamed for the mistakes or not being able to do this like the way I wanted. But then at some point, you just you have to just sort of give up and let it become like imperfect or bad or whatever. And then you realize, oh, okay, so that's me. All of those ugly things and mistakes and those things that you wanted to hide, maybe you should be like embracing those things instead, and that will be like the original. That's going to be what creates the unique style, but it's really hard to find that when you are like younger. So that's really something that comes from working for a longer time, I think. I mean, of course, sometimes maybe younger people also find those things quickly, But at least for me personally, it's a long, slow process.
Everybody is individual, and this is why it is interesting to find that. And we cannot go, okay, the teacher says this has to be copied and done. Through the copying, we can learn beautifully the techniques, but we should be very careful with all that process. We can become so comfortable with that. And so that's why I think the actual art and creation is always something, has to be unique. It has to be simple and unique. How many times I have been burning my art in this fireplace.
I really hope you're not burning stuff.
Find some drawing, oh my god, what was this about? Directly to the fireplace.
Oh, you're so critical.
No, some things you cannot look.
Well, yeah, this was really interesting. I think we should maybe wrap it up.
Sure.
And if you are wondering, by the way, we are sitting in front of Jani Rättyä's art, but we will probably be talking about like other people's art also in some episodes. And I was also thinking that if we would be like really happy if people would interact with us, so like ask questions or just write anything, and like and subscribe, as all the YouTubers say. My kids are watching so many YouTube channels, and it's always like and subscribe. So and especially if you have questions or topics, suggestions, like anything about art, basically we would love to hear them. Thank you
guys, and stay healthy.
Yeah. Stay tuned.